Holy shit, it's the 4th of July, and we're questioning our independence. As coronavirus cases surge, masks become the must-have fashion. Literally. Trump's either a traitor or an idiot.
What are we going to show him on video?
And Ghislaine Maxwell goes to jail because of her grooming practices. All this and more, today, in Old News. It's the 4th of July, America's Day of Independence. Miss Liberty holds high her welcoming torch, and Americans are getting ready for their holiday activities. Barbecues, fireworks, and fun in the sun. They've got their shorts and tank tops, their sunscreen and sunglasses, their masks and face shields, their hand sanitizer and Lysol wipes, make sure those snack packs are bleached, and that ventilator is working just in case, and head out to the backyard, making sure to keep a distance of 6 feet from many of the fences. Yes, it's a holiday in the new normal. This week, the world hit 2 grim records. 10 million cases and 500,000 lives lost to the invisible enemy, with the United States contributing more than a third to both numbers. As the rest of the world trepidatiously opens their doors to a fading threat, the United States is celebrating its independence amid national calamity, with more than 50,000 new cases daily, and a total of 3 million cases hit today. Dr. Anthony Fauci warned that new COVID-19 cases in the United States could soar to 100,000 a day if we can't get on top of the virus. But some don't see it that way. Like Kentucky Senator in disappointment to his father, Rand Paul, who thinks this whole pandemic thing is just too depressing and urges Dr. Fauci to provide more optimism.
We just need more optimism.
Or impeach President and cloudy-eyed optimist Donald Trump.
I think that at some point that's going to sort of just disappear.
Cases in Texas are going up.
You know, testing is a double-edged sword.
I'm seeing a lot more cases every day than I was seeing for the last 3 months.
When you do testing to that extent, you're going to find more people, you're going to find more cases.
The numbers are not going up because we're testing more. The numbers are going up because the virus is being transmitted more. If the virus was not spreading and you tested more people, the percent positive would actually go down. But we're seeing the opposite.
Yes, testing in Arizona has gone up 175%, but positive cases up 700%.
Diagnosed more people with COVID over the last weekend than I saw in the entire months of March and April.
So I said to my people, slow the testing down, please.
If it's all about testing, why do the hospitals look like this?
Testing, tracing, treating, and distancing are the tools that we have at our disposal now.
Said Speaker of the House and lady who usually has lipstick on her teeth, Nancy Pelosi.
But you gotta wear a mask, bro.
American anti-mask rants.
They don't want you to party, they don't want you to enjoy yourself.
Are the new hilarious memes and videos on European social media sites.
I have a breathing problem.
With comments about our stupidity and awful medical system.
We have a right in America not to wear a mask.
Yes, the whole world's laughing at us. Again. Or still. Both. We've been a sad joke for quite some time. But the politicizing of protective equipment is mind-boggling to the rest of the world. I can't believe we have to do this again. Now that you know why you should wear a mask, let's see what happens when we all cover our mouths together. How are our European friends doing? It took them a while to get used to it, but now they're all covering their mouths in public.
Yay!
How about our Asian friends? Why, they're doing fantastic. Even though they were the first hit with the coronavirus and have more people than anywhere in the world, their tradition of covering their mouths in public has kept our Asian friends safe.
Yay!
But wait a minute. We're still sick. Why is that? Because our president says the sickness will go away like magic. And if you do wear a mask, he'll make fun of you. So it's mostly the fault of one person. He knows it's bad, but he thinks it makes him look strong, when it really makes him look like a psychopathic, out-of-touch, paranoid, self-righteous monarch from another time. But don't worry, kids. He'll eventually have a Nuremberg trial and be punished for being naughty. Willfully killing and endangering a bunch of Americans is very naughty. The grown-ups call it crimes against humanity. But for now, there's a large but dwindling fan base that thinks he's the bee's knees, and they say wearing a mask is oppression.
You literally cannot mandate somebody to wear a mask knowing that that mask is killing people.
Do you believe you can override God's divine plan for our lives? You're removing our freedoms and stomping on our constitutional rights by these communist dictatorship orders.
I don't wear a mask for the same reason I don't wear underwear. Things gotta breathe.
I would die for that country. I would die the Constitution. And you know what? You disgrace me!
Every single one of you that are obeying the devil's laws are going to be arrested.
They want to throw God's wonderful breathing system out the door.
I was born free. I will stay free. My rights come from God, not from you. I'm not wearing it. You're going to have to hold me down and put it on me.
And I say Trump 2020, and I hope every one of you gets voted out who votes for a mask here today. Shame on you for voting for a mask.
They've even created fake cards claiming to be exempt under the Americans with Disabilities Act. If you see one of these, laugh at the person, because this is a fake joke thing. Remember, this is respecting one another. This is oppression. Now you know. Go tell your friends. Disgraced president and textbook narcissist Donald Trump is feeling the pressure as more and more of his Reich are expressing exacerbation at the president's refusal to wear a mask.
I've suggested that the president occasionally wear a mask. The president has plenty of admirers. They would follow his lead,
said chicken shit Republican Senator Lamar Alexander, now that he's retiring. Even Senate Majority Leader and guy whose face is slowly melting off, Mitch McConnell, said there should be no stigma about covering up in public.
Put on the mask. It's not complicated.
if you're pro-Trump, you don't wear a mask, and if you're anti-Trump, well, you're more likely to wear a mask.
Wearing the mask is the best opportunity for us to keep this economy open, keep us working, keep us safe.
And look what finally happened on Wednesday.
I'm all for masks. I think masks are good.
That's right. He's been pushing folks to wear a mask all along.
You would wear one?
I would. Oh, I have. I mean, people have seen me wearing one.
Why, he's the biggest proponent of wearing masks there's ever been, even at those 3 rallies that looked like they were from 2019. And all of these times.
I think wearing a face mask, I don't see it for myself.
I was given a choice.
This might help explain why Trump doesn't like to wear a mask in public.
I thought it was very unusual that he had one on. Can you take it off because I cannot hear you?
I'll just speak louder, sir.
Okay, good. You want to be politically correct. Go ahead.
No, sir, I just want to wear the mask.
Go ahead.
And this was yesterday, at Trump's Independence Day celebration. A lot of social distancing there.
We won't be social distancing.
Probably because they zip-tied the chairs together to prevent people from moving them apart. True story. Ooh, I saw a mask. Took a while. It's like a grim Where's Waldo. Found him. Ladies and gentlemen, the Coronavirus Symphony Orchestra. Masks were available, but not required or expected. I guess that's one version of independence. Freedom to be an asshole. Happy 4th, everyone. It's also been uncovered that the distracted Monopoly guy turned president ignored an intelligence briefing in March about Russia paying bounties to insurgents for killing American troops in Afghanistan. The Russian government paid up to 100,000 weird Russian money units per American corpse.
Why doesn't the president question Putin?
This is, again, President Trump's unwillingness to stand up to Vladimir Putin.
I mean, for God's sake, these are our soldiers.
He was far more upset with the media for releasing the story, revealing that he's either a traitor or an idiot.
He's just not receptive to new facts. It was widely known that if you wanted the president's attention, you had to bring a video with you to the brief, something animated, something with pictures. And if you did not have that, you probably would not get much engagement from the president on your issue.
He was more upset with that than he was with the Russian government for killing American soldiers.
I think it's a hoax. I think it's a hoax by the newspapers and the Democrats.
Just like that last hoax, right?
This is their new hoax. We have lost nobody to coronavirus in the United States.
So fear not, you brave women and men of our proud armed forces. The Trump administration will continue to fight the good fight by lifting sanctions on Putin and his friends for hundreds of millions of dollars, aggressively campaigning to have Russia rejoin the G8, and crushing whistleblowers who have been decorated for fighting alongside you. Our American military heroes should also rest easy knowing that no sanctions will be imposed, no admonishing cables will be sent, and no actions will be taken against Russia, because that fellow serviceman's corpse you had to carry and salute is fake news. Yes, the over-the-hill man on the hill is finding his preternatural sex parties lonelier and lonelier, as it's quickly being discovered, everybody hates Trump.
I had to change parties. I could not do this anymore.
Do you know any people who voted for Trump last time who are not going to this time?
Actually, I know several, including my son and grandson.
He blew it. His numbers are the lowest they've ever been. Iran is seeking his arrest over Soleimani's killing. The Ninth Circuit declared his use of military dollars to build his border wall as unlawful, and he's trailing Biden by landslide numbers.
He's going to be your president because some people don't love me, maybe.
All this while a group of Republicans against Trump called the Lincoln Project is growing in status, as the game show host's lack of experience becomes deadly obvious.
I can't do this anymore. We're tired of holding our nose and thinking this guy's going to change. He keeps getting worse.
Leading our country is not his priority.
Past presidents are re-emerging in attempts to unite the country.
It's so unusual for former presidents to come forward and speak in place of a sitting president. And yet we've seen President Obama and President Bush come forward during this time to give the American people some sense that unity in our country is possible.
The challenges we face go well beyond a virus, and that the old normal wasn't good enough. It wasn't working that well.
This tragedy, in a long series of similar tragedies, raises a long overdue question. How do we end systemic racism in our society?
There are now at least 4 Republicans against Trump groups around, and they're growing by the tweet. They're saying, okay, Trump, the reality show was fun, but now there's an emergency. We need a president.
Donald Trump is the first president in my lifetime who does not try to unite the American people. Instead, he tries to divide us.
He lies. He lies about things.
He's a race-baiting, xenophobic, religious bigot.
Yeah, I saw the tweet. It was a shocking thing to say, and I won't dignify it with any further comments.
Actually, I'm a wartime president. This is a war.
It seems like our wartime president has surrendered.
Many prominent Republicans have endorsed likely Democratic candidate and Metamucil spokesmodel Joe Biden.
I'm very close to Joe Biden on a social matter and on a political matter, and I will be voting for him. I certainly cannot in any way support President Trump this year.
Frankly, President Trump has hijacked the Republican Party.
Is anyone actually voting for Joe Biden, or is everyone just voting against Trump? The problem is, Biden is bland. All the presidents have had some kind of cool. Reagan was an actor. Bush 1 was a spy. Clinton had the sax and the laid-back attitude. Bush 2 was a cowboy. Obama was just cool. Trump's a celebrity with his name in gold and a Russian model wife who hates him. But Biden? Joe Biden's only cool is sunglasses.
Her grandpa worked in a silk mill. Oh, sorry.
The guy is mayonnaise. 78-year-old mayonnaise. But maybe that's not a bad thing. After the short run of the Mad King Caligula, there was Claudius, a Roman jar of mayonnaise that everybody thought would be shitty, but who brought expanded freedom, built new roads, aqueducts, and canals, and restored the Roman Empire after Caligula pissed all over it. Maybe after this Caligula, a little mayonnaise is just what we need.
No man has a right to raise a hand to a woman in anger. We have to just change the culture, period, and keep punching at it and punching at it and punching at it. It will be a big... No, I really mean it.
He's confused, but he's got the spirit.
And in other news, Jeffrey Epstein's confidant and head of HR for Uncle Touchy's Funhouse, Ghislaine Maxwell, was arrested in New Hampshire on Thursday. If you don't know why this is important, don't worry. We'll do a whole thing on it after she dies in prison next week. We have a follow-up to our story from last week about the growing list of companies boycotting Facebook for promoting hate speech and misinformation on their site. The list now has more than 500 advertisers. Facebook CEO and guy who hums and does puzzles, Mark Zuckerberg, says Facebook is not going to change in response to the boycott. They'll continue to let anyone with $5 say whatever the fuck they want in their hate-riddled divisive lies, and feature it on the site with no consequence. They'll be back, said Zuckerberg, while operating a fidget spinner. Also, don't touch his ears or he'll go into a fetal position and rock. He's on the spectrum. And finally, kosher lube puts oral sex on the menu for Orthodox Jews. The US-made wet range of lubes has 8 lines that have been given a religious stamp of approval. Rabbis from the Rabbinical Council of California have inspected Wet's 52,000 square foot production plant to make sure nothing is prohibited by kosher rules. Devout Orthodox sons and daughters of Israel used to only be able to suck, then fuck. Now they can fuck, then suck and fuck in any order that they like. Why, they can even go ass to mouth if they feel so inclined. It's all kosher. By the way, while combing through footage, we totally found Jewish Aquaman. You see it, right? Old News would like to remind our viewers that ass to mouth is not good for you. It can give you staph infection. Also, it's super gross. Unless you're into that sort of thing. In which case, see you on the websites, I guess. And as you know, television goes off the air this time every night. Join us again tomorrow morning for Howdy Doody.